are on tour with American Music Abroad, going to Central Asia to play some jazz music representing the U.S.
So Aberdeen went on a U.S. State Department-sponsored tour to Central Asia with the program American Music Abroad. We went to Mongolia and Kyrgyzstan to share our music, to teach workshops, and to collaborate with local musicians, and we were able to learn about the music and the culture of these countries. Now, this tour is really similar to the US State Department Jazz Ambassadors tours that some of our heroes went on, like Duke Ellington and Louis Armstrong. It's a huge honor for us to follow in the footsteps of these jazz legends. And it's been a weird full circle experience for me because when I was in high school, I had a big research project where I made a documentary on Louis Armstrong's social and political impact, which featured the Jazz Ambassadors tours heavily. His audiences demonstrated that the appeal of jazz cuts through social and political distinctions. This version of Aberdeen consists of 5 members. We have Jared Yee on tenor saxophone, Adam Neely on bass, myself, Brian Plautz on alto saxophone.
We were going for different things.
Oh, I was going for a different kind of lick.
We have Seabass Chiriboga on drums.
I mean, maybe it's because it's made out of cheese that I love it so much.
And VJ Brown on guitar.
Finally arrived like 30 hours later in Bishkek. It's at 3 in the morning.
Visiting from the United States, we have the band Aberdene.
So Aberdeen is an American jazz and rock brass band. What we want to do is make instrumental music that is still fun and engaging.
So it's our first day in Bishkek. We're just walking around the city. We stumbled across this open air market. You make these too?
This is my mom. My mom made that. These are from Afghanistan.
So we stumbled across this theme park that, if you look at it on Google Maps, it's in the shape of a pentagram.
In the park, there's this big Ferris wheel that, of course, we went on to get a bird's eye view of Bishkek. And from there, we could see the huge Alto mountains that border the city.
The mountains? Yeah. Awesome.
Bishkek is Kyrgyzstan's capital, and it's known for being the greenest city in Central Asia, with irrigation channels that water the trees throughout the city.
We just got to Alyas State Park with the beautiful mountains.
All right.
We're gonna try to record some music after our hike.
Hey, my name is Kyelbeck. I'm so glad that I'm part of this tour as an interpreter. So welcome to Kyrgyz Republic. It's on the way to the gig.
Dude, the schlep on this gig. Schlep on this gig, man.
I am definitely putting a scent in the background of this.
We're hanging out with a bunch of Kyrgyz school children who came up on the trail. We're gonna play some music. Woo!
He's on a mountain. So we're here in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan at the U.S. Ambassador's residence. We're playing a show out on the lawn. Today we're going to be collaborating with a Kyrgyz band named Choro band. We're really excited. It's the first show of the tour.
such a great show. After so many days of traveling, it felt amazing to play our instruments and to collaborate with the guys in Choro band. After a few days in Bishkek, we flew to Osh, the second largest city in Kyrgyzstan, and went to Yerevan, a neighboring village to Osh that's located on the Silk Road. There we worked with kids in the English Access Micro Scholarship Program, which teaches English and leadership skills to students from economically disadvantaged areas. And they also offer these great scholarships for the students to come to the US to study. The people in Ocean Yerevan were so welcoming.
We're so glad to see you today.
Hello. See you. We're excited.
I'm Brian.
We were waiting for you for so long.
That's wonderful.
When we arrived, we were greeted with this amazing dance presentation. We just taught 2 workshops. And what we did was we wrote a song together. So we just came up with options of drum grooves.
Here's a hip hop beat. Second one is a 6/8 groove.
And we had them decide.
Which one do you guys like?
And then options of bass line. Guitar parts.
First chord. Second chord.
And melodies. And so we were able to piece all these parts together to create a song. What's been really cool with these workshops is we're getting all of the kids involved. They're coming up and playing shakers and singing with us. It's really nice to collaborate with these people.
I'm out of the gig.
I love you so much.
Check out this guy.
We're here at the Osh airport, about to get on the flight back to Bishkek. We have 1 workshop today. Everybody's been so welcoming. This is our first time in the Kyrgyz Republic, and hopefully not our last time. We love it here. It's 4 a.m. here in the airport in Bishkek. We're about to fly to Mongolia to start the second half of our tour. We just arrived in the airport in Ulaanbaatar, and we're halfway through the tour. We have an off day tomorrow where we're gonna ride horses and see the countryside.
The beautiful country of Mongolia. It's the most sparsely populated country in the world, with almost half of its population living in the capital city of Ulaanbaatar. We started our tour of Mongolia with a sightseeing day trip in the Tuve province, which is right outside of Ulaanbaatar. There we met with a herder family, rode horses, and learned about traditional customs.
They put it up on the roof and it dries out in the sun.
They have rocks from the river, so they heat up the rocks in the fire first, and then usually the rocks are heating, the pressure cooking.
It's a good luck tradition to toss the hot rocks in your hands before eating.
You gotta caption that Aberdeen rocks.
Yes. Having a meeting. Then we visited the massive Genghis Khan or Chinggis Khan statue complex. In Mongolia, we collaborated with some amazing musicians, from traditional musicians to people that played traditional Mongolian instruments in an experimental way to a modern band. The embassy set up a presentation of some local artists performing traditional music for us. There we got to ask questions about their music and learn about the different forms of throat singing.
Could he teach one of the Aberdeen guys how to do that? Getting the saxophone.
So we're here at the Children's Palace in Ulaanbaatar, where a lot of kids come to learn music. We're about to have a quick rehearsal and then our performance tonight.
Hi, I'm Erika.
Erika is the person who put the itinerary together and got all the contacts from all the schools that we've been doing workshops at and getting all the collaborators together. And she is an all-star.
The kids are playing horsehead fiddles, which are these two-stringed instruments that are tuned to F and B flat. He has a lot of like the chaos pads and loopers and stuff, and he's going to be beatboxing as well as throat singing and doing some stuff with the jaw harp.
Fan that was messaging us, I just met him outside, and him and his friend have real books for us to sign.
Yes!
Oh my god! Yes! Yes! Oh, subscribe. So now we're heading over to our performance with Redline Band, and it's in this street fair that's so fun. It's got all these crazy games. We're heading over to the stage to put some stuff down quickly before meeting the U.S. ambassador here in Mongolia. Hey. Thank you. Hey. We just got out of a yurt meeting the ambassador and the governor of the area. And then with 10 minutes left before our set, we walked across town to learn about a ceremony where you break bones and you do like a rock, paper, scissors game. And if you lose, you have to drink mare's milk. It's a drinking game.
It's a drinking game, basically. Whoever loses has to drink more Eric. So they're going to play, taking turns until they finish that giant pot of Eric.
Oh. Now we're going to the stage. We'll start pretty late, I think. And then we might go break bones afterward. Break a leg. right?
A wonderful group from my native New York City, and they've really loved Mongolia's culture in a way that is absolutely amazing.
We became best friends, yeah.
Playing with you guys.
Yeah. Of course. I love you.
Today's our last day here in Mongolia. We're about to teach a workshop here in the conservatory. We have a gig at Fat Cat tonight.
Hi guys, my name is Adam. I work at the embassy. I'm not a part of the band, so I'm not as cool as those guys. I live here in Ulaanbaatar. But we're so excited that we were able to bring Aberdeen to hang out with you guys. So as we say in English, give it up for Aberdeen.
This song, you take a small idea and then you expound upon it. The small idea is, then the answer to that would be, and now you're starting to get some development. I repeat it a couple times and then I have like a final ending, which is, so now I have a full section. But it's just the melody. So now we have to introduce guitar.
He's using the root, the fifth, and the ninth of each chord. It's kind of like a power chord. Guitar players like playing the root and the fifth often. The sound of this song, the sound of this band is very much based on this shape.
Does anyone know the Hendrix chord? This is the Aberdeen chord. It sounds like So then when I add the ninth, just adds a different flavor, a different kind of emotion to the chords, but still gives you that big sound. Back in New York, we play gigs with 2 guitar players on stage, so it's even more, you know.
Well, I get my information in terms of what I'm going to play from everyone. The first thing that sticks out is, and there's this long space in between. From there, I'm grabbing my rhythmic information from the guitar.
And then stylistically is very similar to the guitar. So the guitar has the rock power chords with a little bit of jazz. Playing rock drums, you get a lot of noise, a lot of hitting the cymbals, but then the jazz element is a lot of improvisation and freedom. So here's the rock version of it. But in jazz, there's a lot more freedom, and you can go all over.
That's a jazz. That's a jazz.
So we're at the Fat Cat here in Mongolia. It's our last night of the tour.
Hi! Welcome to Mongolia!
Woo! Should I talk into the mic or just yell?
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll probably just yell.
Brian will just yell.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aberdeen!
We're gonna play a song called Held Together. It's about being with people that you really like. It's that feeling you have when you're with a loved one or a friend, and it kind of feels nostalgic, even though you're there with them. And I think that's how we feel here in Mongolia. So this is Held Together. high tech for singing with us. So this is the title track of our recent album. This is called Downpour. This is our last song, so we want to say thank you again to the U.S. Embassy here in Mongolia, to American Music Abroad, Redline, Lola, Beatbox Red, the Alto Band, Erika, Adam, Rob, the U.S. Embassy in Kyrgyzstan, Cori, Mana, Kyelbeck, Choro Band. A huge thank you to Mia from American Music Abroad, John, Alan, Spencer, JP from the State Department. I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot of people, but let's get back to the show. Thanks so much for watching. I just want to say how much this tour meant to us. We were able to see firsthand how music can really bring people together. With Aberdeen, we like to play with a large band and have a lot of people sit in. We try to focus on the community aspect, and this tour was able to bring that idea to a scale larger than we could have imagined. What American Music Abroad and the State Department has allowed us to do as a band is to travel as civilians, showcasing what we love to do, and thereby highlighting something that's truly good and simple, that sharing music feels nice. With all that being said, please comment, like, subscribe, and all of that.
Subscribe.
Adam released a great video essay on this tour that I've linked in the description below. I'd like to thank my bandmates, Jared, Seabass, Adam, and VJ. You guys are the best. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Bye.
Even though they're not coming from the same actual musical tradition, we still can make that connection and find ourselves in that too. And I think that's the bridge, and that's the thing that like moves everything forward.
And no matter what culture and where you are in the world, they know the Fortnite dances.
Loss is universal.